Hello, I'm Mike Cady, and I proudly serve as superintendent of the Pewaukee School District. In this district, it is our mission to open the door to each child's future. Those three words are really important, each child's future. Those words give us great direction as we think about the learning experiences that we need to provide for all students to really prepare them for this exciting, dynamic, and globalized era that they are growing up in.
Future ready in today's day and age is completely different than how we once knew it to be. Students certainly still need to be able to compete and have the academic fortitude to be successful in whatever career field that they choose. But beyond that, they need skills that transcend any career field.
Incoming freshmen that we have this year will be graduating in 2025, and in theory are going to be retiring in 2072. And if you try to wrap your mind around that and the skills that they're going to need throughout their lifetime in an ever-evolving world, the reality is they're going to be some of the skills that are in between the books and the classes that we have.
Regardless of whatever subject that you end up going into, or what's your chosen field or your profession, everybody wants you to be able to think critically and to be able to understand how are you able to use your skills, and even if it's brand new content, to be able to prepare yourself for that future, for careers that currently do not exist.
We are really equipping them for a world that has a dramatically different landscape than the one that we all entered when we graduated high school. We are asking students not to just know content, but to be able to evaluate it, think critically about it, and to innovate it. And we're asking them to move beyond just being those that understand or absorb information, but those that use information.
For students to be able to walk out of our campus and be able to be model citizens, be able to tackle some of the world's big problems, or just be able to manage their own lives effectively, that's what being future ready means.
To do this, we believe it's our responsibility to provide a rigorous and relevant education that prepares them for a world that's very different, that they need something different than the silo-based education in which content is taught discretely from other subject areas, and have them do the kinds of things that they would engage in a place like this, where they're applying knowledge, where they're thinking and doing very creative things. It's been our history in the school system to use strategic planning to help us meet our mission, and behind me you can see our graduate profile. Our graduate profile is framed in 6 really important areas. That includes the ability to contribute, create, compete, connect, commit, and maybe most importantly, to care. We think these 6 characteristics are critical in us meeting our mission and preparing our students for their future.
A couple of years ago, we talked to our students about what it is that they really felt that they needed to be successful. And it was based on their responses that we created our graduate profile. Our graduate profile really focuses on 6 main competencies, but they're infused in all of the different areas of how we operate here in Pewaukee.
Our students' ability to care about others and themselves, our students' ability to make commitments and follow through on them, contribute to the society around them and make the world a better place just because they were frankly a part of it. Our students' ability to be creative and innovative. Those are some of the characteristics that we think will be defining characteristics in their life that will lead toward success.
We can't be remiss and not pay attention to the compete side of our graduate profile. We're an education institution. It's our charge to make sure that students are academically prepared for whatever their future may lie. And so our compete competency focuses in on that academic success. And so maintaining strong, rigorous coursework that offer a variety of different learning experiences for students is paramount to make sure that they have the foundation that they need to be successful in the future. But most importantly, their learning experiences need to be the application of that knowledge.
So in our classes in the engineering and in the STEAM world that I live in, we spend a lot of time on the create side of the graduate profile, because the create side gets you to really think critically. I have an expectation for my students to fail and to fail frequently. And when I tell them to fail, that doesn't mean that they are going to be failures themselves, but instead I ask them to fail because kids learn through failing. And it takes the old style of school and it throws it completely out the window.
We have a number of examples throughout our district where students are taking their knowledge and applying it in different settings, whether it's our Insight program or as they take it to our maker spaces. There's a ton of variety and options for students to use their knowledge in new and inventive ways, which is what we want to focus on to be sure that they're future ready.
I like to say a good maker project can hit on all 6 aspects of the grad profile. We had a really neat project that Lauren Coleman was working on last year in her biomedical innovations class, where students were 3D printing prosthetic hands for local children that needed them. And so that really hits on all of those things. You're practicing care, and we're using our skills for good. We're connecting with outside agencies. The kids are connecting with each other. They're obviously using our brand new equipment that we have in the maker spaces to create, and that's also adding some compete elements to it as well. Our students are using state-of-the-art technology in our maker spaces, and so they're going to be ready to go into college. They're going to be ready to go into their careers. They're going to know how to use some of this really high-level equipment to do what they want to do, to make what they want to make, to solve those problems.
So we recognize the idea that students don't just simply learn by sitting in classrooms and listening to teachers. Obviously that's a valuable and efficient way to be able to deliver content. But just like all of us, ultimately we want to recognize the fact that students learn from a variety of different resources. So we want to support our students in explicitly developing their personalized learning network and starting to make connections into potential industries that they might want to explore as a career further on down the road.
One example would be our Insight program, where students are matched with mentors in the community, and they're working on developing committed relationships and building professional networks while they're still in high school. We have classes where contributing to social and service learning projects is embedded into the classes. And in our academic and career planning program, care and self-care and empathy are integrated in all of the lessons that we deliver for our students.
Another piece that we think is incredibly important, and as we study statistics about students' mental health and their physical wellness, that's got to be a priority. That's got to be a priority with all of our employees here as well. Finding balance between work and life is essential. And it's not just about caring for ourselves, it's also about caring for the folks that are around us. Our ability as a society to have empathy for one another is just simply critical to the success of our democracy going forward. And so emphasizing that as one of the important pieces and cornerstones of what we believe makes a successful individual is an important part of our curriculum.
As we continue to pursue our mission to open the door to each child's future, we will look to the 6 C's of our graduate profile and the guiding principles of personalized learning to ensure the future success of all of our students.